Today we're going to be making chicken noodle soup. Now I'm going to be making it from a whole chicken, and then I also like to use the carcass of a rotisserie chicken. Today I have chosen mostly organic ingredients. Went to Whole Foods, picked myself up a couple of chickens, as you can see. I have my parsley and just really basic ingredient. You also have some bouillon that's in the refrigerator. We'll be getting that out at a later time. So first, we'll get our ingredients together. We'll start rough chopping and throwing it into the pot. Okay, so now I have everything in the pot besides my carcass. And the rotisserie chicken, I'm going to put that about, let's say, a half hour in. Oops. So in here I have a garlic peel, but we'll get that out of there. And most of this doesn't matter because we're just going to strain it out anyhow. I put all my parsley stems, 2 rough chopped onions, some celery stalks, a couple carrots, and then my chicken. I have a little bit of thyme in here so far. I'm probably going to want to use something a little bit sturdier, because I want to make sure that my chicken's not going to sit on the bottom of my pot and have some of my vegetables underneath there. So I'm going to just flop her around a little bit. Okay. So this is going to really make the stock, and I have some bouillon, so I'm going to be adding that in after. But if you didn't, then you could really just cook this a lot longer, put more vegetables in it and more spices. So here's about another tablespoon of thyme. I'm going to just put some oregano in here, and then I like to put just a little tiny pinch of some rosemary in there. And you can really just play around with some other herbs, but I like to just stick with these basics and not go too overpowering with the seasoning. Like I said, this is just the stock, so you want to make sure that you have some sort of seasoning at this portion. If not, it's going to be really bland. And now you can add in your salt and pepper. And then mix it all up. So I'm going to wait for that to boil. So here's the chicken that I've pulled off from my rotisserie chicken. And you can choose to either use this in the soup, but you'll put it in later so it doesn't get all dry, or you could save it and make sandwiches out of it, which that's what I'm going to do with it this time around. Okay, so I'm almost at a boil here, and once I am, I'm going to set the timer for 30 minutes. I'm going to come back. I'm going to put my rotisserie chicken carcass in there and cook it for another 30 more minutes. When I come in there, I'll probably flip-flop the chicken, but I'll see you back in about 1 hour when we're all ready to do a little bit more. So after the boil, I turned it down to low and simmered it for an hour. And this is probably an hour and 15-20 minutes because I let it sit there, had to do some stuff. So now what you will do is just take this pot, pour it through some sort of strainer where it's thin enough where it will capture all this, and then you'll pick through the bone. Then you'll bring that broth up to a boil. Okay, so here I have strained everything into a new pot, and then I'm going to go through here. I'm going to pick off all the good meat, and then I'm just going to discard everything else. So here is the broth, the stock from what I had left over, and now what I'm going to do is bring it up to a boil make sure I boil that down first before I do anything. So here we have the meat that is all picked up, the chicken. Now I'll just cut that up more like dice in bigger chunks. And then there you have it, everything that's left over. You can just throw that away, or you could boil that down maybe, make another stock. And the one trick is just not to overboil it. Once you bring it to a boil, turn it down to a low simmer, and then don't overboil the chicken, because if you do, then it's all dry and it just doesn't taste right after that. So here I have cut my veggies, and you can cut your carrots any way you like. I like to do mine like this. You just have to get smaller carrots, and that will give you that result. You can put a little onion in there. Sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. I just felt like doing it. I had used the onion earlier, and so that's why I decided to. But if you didn't have onion or don't like onion, then you could just omit that. And here is some parsley, and I've cut this up and I will put that in as well. And here is the chicken, and I've cubed it because I like it like that. The very first couple times that I made it, it came out shredded, and so when I started just cubing it, it turned out a lot better. So what you do now is, just once you've skimmed your soup, which you'll have to do a few times, I'm going to do it one more time. Okay, so now I will add my veggies. I'm going to bring this up to a boil, and then so my vegetables will get tender, and then maybe I'll put a little salt and pepper. And I like to boil my noodles separately. So now I put in the chicken, and I'm going to let it simmer down for about 30 minutes. And okay, well, here you have it then. You just, the best part is you get to eat it. So everything put together, enjoy.
I love